Hey little babies, it is time for the morning tour. This is the kale, and it's been raining like crazy, and this is the Swiss chard, and they actually love the rain. They're kind of laying down, but I'm sure they're gonna come back up. Good morning all. It is time for our tour in my 9B garden here in Central Florida, and it has been raining out like crazy, so I actually recorded this already, but it was so shaky, so I think I found another way to get you all some good footage of the actual garden. So let's go ahead and get started. Just know, I don't know if it's going to start raining again, but my plants have been getting beat down by rain, but they're kind of loving it, so it's all positive. Now look at this guy here. We got a little guardian here. Hey. And these are some melons that I put in, and I'll have to put the name of the melon on the video, and they are popping up. I just put them in about 4 days ago, and they're popping up already, so that's kind of cool. And I still don't know where I'm going to put these at, but I'm going to trellis them some kind of way, because you know, a girl doesn't have that much space out here. And then these are the radishes, and what I wanted to do was let some of these radishes go to seed, because I heard the seed pods also taste good as well, and I wanted to try that out, as well as to save some seeds, because you know, I want to start saving my seeds right off the bat. And then we're going to go over here to the Dream Trellis, and things are really taking off over here. I looked at last week's video before I did this one, and I was really I was stunned how small things are. So this is a squash plant. Y'all look, I know I got some good stuff going on in the soil because I have a lot of fungi growing inside of these plants. So let's see if we're gonna, are we going to, it doesn't wanna, it's right down in there. Doesn't want to focus here. And next to it is the watermelons, and the watermelons are actually starting to get some tendrils on them, and so they're going to climb really nicely. They've fallen over because they're heavy. They are a vining plant, and that's the sugar babies. Then over here, my flowers are starting to grow as well. I know they're very hard to see. They're just little seedlings down here in the bottom. And then we have the okra, which is growing tall and strong. And I got a little aloe vera plant. Now look at that little can that I made. It's kind of cool. I decided to do more recycling with cans. I have some paint, so I'll be putting more cans out here with some sayings on them. And then here inside, I have some seedlings, and you can see my lettuce is happy. It's been cooler these last few days because of the rain, so the lettuce is still going strong. And we have carrots, and actually more carrots have popped up, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to let those go before I attempt to do any thinning. I actually wish I would have put more carrots inside of here. And in the back, I was just saying to myself yesterday, I need to trellis this tomato, but I was waiting for a basil cutting to get some roots to put in, but I'm gonna have to do that soon because with the rain, things are just like going crazy right now. And here I have some dill, and I like the way that's coming along. And behind it is some chamomile. Y'all put a whole pack of chamomile in here because I tried to grow the chamomile before and it just didn't pop up. So I think I was not putting the seeds, well, I was putting the seeds too close, well, too deep down. So I started again, and they are popping up. And then in these other ones, we have some some other, I think we have some lavender and some chives and some peppermint, I believe, and they haven't came up yet. We still have the tomatoes. The tomatoes are starting. Let's move the lettuce out the way. It's all in the way of my tomatoes. You can see the lettuces. These are starting to get some true leaves on the tomatoes, which is cool. Y'all, look at this. These are bell peppers over here, and the bell peppers are doing so well in these pots, but they need to be transferred. And I was actually going to murder those, but I think I might keep them. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with these peppers just yet. They actually are doing better than the ones that I transferred into pots, and I don't know why, because I did the mixtures of the dirt the same way. So I don't know. We'll see. This is actually a cucumber plant, and I wasn't going to keep it, but I don't know, y'all. I have a problem with murdering plants. And look at the fungi inside of here that's been growing. I notice when it rains or it's nice and moist, these fungi pop up, and I think once the sun comes up and dries, they'll probably disappear. And then, oh, and the tomato back here in the back, it does have a basil at the bottom, and it also is already starting to fruit. So you can see this was a cutting off of one of my Husky Reds. You can see there's a little baby tomato in there. Let's see if we can get a close-up. Yeah, I'm using a different camera, so I can't really see what I'm doing. Alright. And then let's move on to the outside here. See y'all later, my little babies. Alright, and then on this side, we have okra. And of course the okra is still small, so it's not doing too much just yet, but it's looking quite lovely there. And this is starting to go crazy. This is my yellow squash, yay. So I'm excited about that, and I have a little zinnia inside, which I can't wait to see the flowers blooming. And behind here is the cowpeas. Y'all, look how much the cowpeas have grown. And I have them, I've been training them to go up the trellis, so I got to do a little bit more training if I can get past the gazillion mosquitoes out here. I actually had to put some spray on today because the mosquitoes bite through your clothes. It's crazy. It's like they put on some extra teeth. They said, oh, here comes a meal. Let's put our extra teeth in. Okay, so my nasturtium is loving the cooler weather. And when I say cooler, it's like in the upper 70s right now, lower 80s, but it's like really wet and it's still a lot cooler, and the sun has not been out, so that makes the plants very happy. And then we have some zinnias as well here, and in the back, those are the pepper plants. You can see they look kind of spindly to me, they do. And the leaf growth is not that big, so I don't know what's going on with those. I'm wondering if it's the hay that I put inside with those, because this one over here, if you can see it, does not have hay. It has wood chips in it. So maybe the hay has some herbicides in it, but I haven't had any other problems, I don't think, with the other things that I have top dressed, so I don't know. And then of course we have the sunflower bed here, which I know I love my sunflower bed. And underneath, look at that, y'all, a gazillion sunflowers coming up because I overseeded the sunflowers by 2 million sunflowers. And there's also wildflowers in here, but I think it's going to take some time for the wildflowers to come up. But this is kind of cool. So it's going to take probably a month or so. Y'all, the mosquitoes are like herds out here. And see, here's another one of the little cans. They're ganging up on me. Alright. Okay, so now we have our bean plant. And this is one of the magnolias I was telling Bobby about. My magnolias are growing big and strong, but they don't have any blooms. And this one is in the same bucket as my contender beans, and you can see I have some beans in there. And I'm going to go ahead and pick those because I think this plant is pretty much done for the summer. Those beans have been on there for a few days and they're really not growing, so I'm going to go ahead and take those off. And you can see back here, and yeah, the leaves look terrible. It's actually growing new leaves, so I'm going to take those old leaves off and just let it grow the new leaves and see what happens. And you can see here, this is the pepper plant. This one is doing pretty good. And those back there are not. And here's another bean plant as well. And the leaves look lovely, but it's not producing any flowers or beans anymore. So I'll probably, I don't know, I'm just going to leave it for now. And let me just go back out here. And you can see this is the Eaton Trellis with my beautiful cucumbers. They are doing exactly what I wanted them to do. They're trellising over the arch, and surprisingly, the storm did not affect them much yesterday. They're very, very happy and growing all over the place. And you can see we have some little cukes. Yay! That's exciting. I think the cucumber plant is the one that I was most excited about. And if we look down here, I have some eggplants growing. Here's another little can that I recycled, inspired, and it has an aloe vera on it. I know it looks kind of dead, but I say those are the comeback kids because they come back like nobody's business, so it'll be fine, I'm sure. And then here are two ginormous marigolds again, and they don't have any blooms, so I'm just waiting for the blooms on there. Y'all look at the water sitting in here. That's from the storms last night. We had a lot of tornado warnings, and it was like crazy. Hello, Mr. Birds. Look at all those blooms. It's beautiful. And then over here, I have some peppermint plants, and they look like they got kind of dug up. They're little bitty seedlings, and they're the babies in here. And I have some cowpeas behind there as well. So they're starting to go up the trellis also. And I have like these bunching onions, but I think I might just pull them out. They're not doing anything. I think because they're just kind of shaded out. So let's go around to the inside. And you can see my sunflower is just like, please help me. I have to tie it up a little bit better. It's still quite alive, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take the heads off and see if I can get the seeds out of those. So I'm going to make sure they're nice and dry. Since it's been raining, I'm going to have to wait a while. And then I think this one is the most ginormous. This is the ginormous marigold that I have. It's two of them in this pot, and they are totally just hanging over my little bitty banana pepper. See that in there? That's a banana pepper. And it's not getting any sunlight, so I'm going to move this bucket sometime this week. I was going to do some work this weekend, but it's just been too rainy. And then you can see the tomato plants back here in the back. This week I went in and I did tons of pruning because the leaves were in absolutely horrific shape, and with the rain they're getting still kind of bad, so I'm gonna have to pull a few more leaves, but you know, you gotta leave some leaves on for photosynthesis. I also pulled a ton of ripe tomatoes off, but there's more that can be taken off as well. But y'all, look how well this thing is fruiting. Look at that bunch. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I did also take off, or I cut down some of the basil that's at the bottom. other tomatoes too, and of course they're growing back already. And then we had the pepper plant, and of course the peppers are just growing really nicely. I'm gonna have to check them for blossom end rot because I had a problem with a few of the peppers that I got off. These are red peppers, however they have not turned yet. Let's see if I can get in a little bit better for you to see. They are definitely hiding. Oops. Y'all, she done lost her mind with the zoom here. They are definitely hiding under the leaves. And then I have some Walla Walla peppers under the bottom, and I don't know how well those are gonna do either. Now, I did pick some of my carrots out of this bucket, and they came out pretty good, so I'll put a picture up of this. You can look at the previous video to see my small but big harvest for me. And y'all, I don't know what this is. Let's take a peek together. Look at that, those orange things. I think those are mushrooms. Y'all see them? I don't want to touch them. Let's see if we're gonna focus. Sometimes I want to focus right there. I don't know what that is. Alright, so let's go around here to this side. You can see my aloe veras are making babies. So I'm going to have to take those out of those pots. And these are some of the aloe veras that were looking dead, but then they came back. And then hello morning glory. See, look at the morning glory. Last week it was kind of small, and this week it is kind of starting to vine. So you can see here. Uh-oh. How big it is. Y'all, I'm moving the camera erratically because I'm trying to swat these mosquitoes. Y'all don't understand. Y'all just don't understand. And this little marigold is coming up. And I'm going to put this on the trellis pretty soon. And sorry for sounding gross, but my allergies kicked in. And so that's my morning glory. Beautiful plant. And then the other side of my cucumber plant. Oh, I didn't show you all. Let's look inside here. Can y'all see it? Dun, 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 dun. It's a cucumber. That's the biggest cucumber on the plant, I think. So hopefully, maybe within a week, I'll be picking that sucker off. And y'all look how tall the cucumbers had gotten. So they're climbing, climbing, climbing. So this side is almost completely covered, so that's kind of cool. So they'll be intermingled with my morning glories pretty soon. And then I also have 2 more cucumber plants that are still babies down here. So they haven't started climbing yet. So that's kind of cool. Y'all, I did have an nasturtium in here, and it just, I didn't even pull it up. It just totally just dwindled away. So I haven't had luck with the nasturtiums. I also want to say this plant had some spider mites, and I used some Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew throughout the whole garden, and I did 2 applications 1 day apart before it started raining. And I did that for the leaf miner infestation and also the spider mites. And I think I eradicated both, but I can't be sure until it stops raining. And I'll probably do another application as well. But what I wanted to show you is I got some advice that the leaf miners, they cosmetically they make your plants look ugly, but the plant will still produce. But I just had so many, they were just destroying the leaves. And also some more advice that I got was to pinch the leaf miners. And I'm going to show you what pinching does on the cucumber plant. You see all these holes in the leaves? This was from leaf miners that I pinched. So every plant can't take that pinching. Every pinch I did is a hole in the actual leaves that you see here. Now they're kind of ugly, but these have been here for a while and the leaves are still alive. So I did get rid of a lot of the damaged leaves, and I left the ones that were pretty much in good shape. So y'all give this video a thumbs up for Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew, which is not a sponsored video, but you know, I'm just saying that stuff worked, okay? And then I'm going to do another application after the rains go away. So this is what it looks like in the Zone 9B in Central Florida garden, here in the Lazy Liz garden, because I haven't done pretty much anything but drop a few seeds. And so I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And again, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Have a great day.